local rapid response team. Thank you all for being here today. I'm Christy. I'm a child of God and a single mom of 3, one of whom is transgender and one who is intellectually disabled. I'm a hospice aide, and I work at our local crisis nursery. My heart beats for our vulnerable communities, for the people too often ignored, exploited, or forgotten. I spent the first few years of my life on Springfield's east side at 2201 Grove Street. Some of you may know that address as Suttle's Gardens. My grandfather, Ron Suttle, was the 3rd-generation farmer there. And on that land, I learned what compassion looks like. In the early 90s, a young Mexican man came to our farm. He didn't speak any English, but my grandfather saw a man in need and gave him a job. His name was Pancho. He lived in our home. He ate at our table. He worked from sun up to sundown, side by side with my grandfather. My grandparents spent thousands of dollars trying to help him become a U.S. citizen, but the system failed him. After a decade, Pancho moved south. He called every year to check in until one day ICE caught up with him and deported him, and we haven't heard from him since. That story, his story, changed me forever. Because for my grandparents, that farm wasn't just income, it was service. It was community. It was love in action. And that's what brings us here today, love in action. Over the past few months, Tara and I have been on the road to D.C., to Chicago, to Broadview, standing where others won't, watching, listening, asking questions, and bearing witness. We saw National Guardsmen patrolling peaceful streets. We saw where the homeless were forced to move across the river to Arlington, Virginia, just to stay free. And 2 weeks ago, we stood outside Allstate Arena in Rosemont, watching for ice raids after a Banda MS concert. We went to Little Village, Cicero, Broadview, and we didn't find war zones. We found families, workers, moms and pops setting up their food carts just before dawn, children playing. And then we saw Chrissy Nome and her ICE agents harassing a father and his 2-year-old son in a park. That's not law enforcement. That's terror. And what happened in South Shore? A midnight raid? Black Hawks? Windows kicked in? Flashbangs? Children dragged out of their bed? Families zip-tied in the street? Tara and I stood on the sidewalk where 150 people were terrorized, given PTSD for the rest of their lives. Only 35 of them arrested. The rest were United States citizens. Let that sink in. That's state-sanctioned violence. That's fascism. And it's happening right here in America. If ICE comes into our communities, I will stand like Corey ten Boom, like Harriet Tubman, like Anne Frank. I will not be silent. I will not be complicit. Because what is happening in this country isn't just injustice, it's a war crime. And history will remember what side we stood on. Authoritarianism is here. Fascism is here. But how long it stays depends on us. Political science tells us if just 3.5% of the population stays engaged in peaceful, sustained resistance, we can take back our democracy. Because the power of the people is greater than the people in power. Here in Central Illinois, our immigrant communities may be smaller, but they are here and they matter. That's why we're forming rapid response teams. If ICE or Border Patrol moves south, we will be ready. We will train, we will patrol, and we will protect. If you want to join, come and find us. Tell me what democracy looks like! This is what democracy looks like! like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Now, let's leave with a promise. We will stand with our immigrant brothers and sisters in Springfield, in Beardstown, in Decatur, and Peoria. And we will make it clear. Say it loud, say it clear. Immigrants are welcome here. Say it loud, say it clear. Immigrants are welcome here. Say it loud, say it clear. Immigrants are welcome here.
Say it loud, say it clear. Immigrants are welcome here.
Thank you, Springfield. Stay brave, stay loud, stay undivided and focused.